right. Hi. You're now tuned in to the News You Can Use podcast. I'm your host with the most big set gutter. I'm here with Uncle Bobby, and we're about to do some reactions, people. All right, here we go. Yes, sir. Welcome, people. All right, let's turn this down so we should go loud. And let's see what we're gonna get into. First up, Suge Knight said he didn't trust Eric B. and revealed shocking information about Machiavelli album.
Man, every day's a blessing. Ain't nothing changed, you know? Ain't smart being stupid.
Yes, indeed. So with that being said, man, before we get into the interview I've been dropping for the last week or so, we actually recorded that some months ago, like 2 or 3 months ago, but I was busy, so I never got to drop it. So I want the people to know that so they won't be confused. So Suge, off the record, you was telling me which one you prefer between Machiavelli and All Eyes on Me. If you don't mind, can you speak on that?
Well, all eyes, I look at it, one on the right hand, one on the left hand, one good, one evil. What I mean by that, could never been done.
What did he
with a pie.
mean, one good, one evil? Why did he feel like Machiavelli was evil?
And every time you mention albums or those two albums with Pac, it make me miss him even more because he was so coachable. So when we was doing All Eyes on Me, Pac wanted to get everybody on Death Row involved. And who? He wanted them involved, period. That showed a lot of leadership, and he wasn't selfish. Now I remember when we did so many songs that it had been a single disc. The song was so good I couldn't X and out. I said, well shit, we're gonna make a double CD.
All Eyes on Me.
And Pac wanted to name it Euthanasia, Life After Death. And I was like, nah, it's you. Eyes on me. It's all eyes on you, out of prison on death row, you know? He started laughing and says, that's what we're going with. So I felt that album was so important because he got everybody involved. He made careers off that. He put people in there that they was able to make money because off their I'm gonna call it album Machiavelli. Jesus Christ, but he was black and he's Tupac, so he was like, you know,
Yo, what's up with the
all the art and corruption. That was why he had to fake his death so many times, because he had became so powerful in the field that he was in, so to say. You know what I'm saying? So much information that everybody wanted. You know, if I can't have you, then you need to be assassinated type shit. You know what I'm saying? So he felt the best way to get away from all that was to fake his death. So for Tupac to use that as a reference for an album goes to show that he had read his literature and knew exactly what he was doing. But they say if you want to hide anything from a black man, put it in a book.
Right.
And so Pac put his in a song because that's what we listen to.
Right. He was
You know
smart.
what I mean? So, you know, it was an intelligent move. And that's where the name Machiavelli originates from.
That's his family. Yeah, he wrote that down pretty good. Let's get back to it. What's the plan?
as runners. It's too big.
Mhm. Yo, 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 what's going on? Trap Talk Podcast in the building. Trap, I'm about to send you the link, man. Tap in with us.
Pac was like, I know you're not a rapper. I just want you to say exactly like this. She said exactly how he wanted to say it. She was out.
Trap, what's the deal?
I know later on, Queen tried to allege that she didn't get paid. Like it's my fault. Well, publishing works like this. Let me educate you guys on publishing. Publishing starts off with a whole pie. Half of it goes to the person who write the lyrics. The other half goes to the person who does the music. They get 50% of the publishing, but if they sample somebody's stuff, they might not get no publishing, or they only might get 10 to 20%. It's up to the person who uses their sample. So the person who does the music, that's their 50%. Now it comes to the person who does the 50% for the lyrics. That being said, Pac write his own stuff. Nobody but Pac. So if Queenie would have wrote it, Pac would have gave her publishing. Since Pac wrote it, it's his publishing. And I always ask everybody in front of Pac, Pac, what's the breakdown on this song? Me and my girlfriend, I wrote this. What about Queenie? She didn't write shit. She's not a rapper. I just call her and say this like this. If she don't want to do that, I'm not giving up my publishing for something I wrote. I'll take that bitch off and put somebody else on. I'm like, calm down, Pac. All right, cool. You know, it's your publishing.
So you mean that
me.
niggas out here jealous because we rolling with that bro? They trying to play a hate, but they can't fade us though. We be mobbing through the neighborhood, yeah. That's her on all them tracks. I never knew
song
she
she's
was
talking about though. You know what I'm saying? And it's just the whole point of her believing that she was supposed to get something off of something she never wrote. I'm gonna pay you for what you did.
He paid her up front.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay you for what you did. That's what you're paid. You don't get no royalties out of this. How do you get royalties and you're like a prop?
What about
You're
rappers
like a
with
prop.
ghostwriters like Biggie writing all those?
Ghostwriters are different. That's why
because they pay them up front.
Yeah, they get paid up front, right up front, and really you're supposed to be called a ghostwriter so that nobody knows that you did it.
Yeah.
A lot of people right now want you'll ghostwrite for somebody and then want everybody to know you did it. You know what I'm saying? Which is kind of weird because if that's the case, you should just be rapping. You know what I'm saying?
I see Jermaine Dupri say like, I wrote Confessions and I wrote this, I wrote that, and it's like, damn, it's accolades. Like after 10, 15 years, shouldn't you be able to claim your?
I mean, it
How
all
does
depends.
publishing
It all depends what the deal goes with that. See, it all depends how you may have worked me. See, I might not have read the fine print, and that's why you get to do that 10, 15 years later.
Right.
Because even if you wrote it and you gave it, you sold it to me.
Right.
All right. I mean, I bought everything of it. It's mine.
I made the beat, I wrote the song, I just told you to sing it.
I don't care. Listen, I didn't say nothing about the beat. You made the song. You sold the song to me.
Right.
As a ghostwriter.
Right.
Okay? I then put a beat behind it, you know what I'm saying, and used my voice, my swag, whatever, and made it mine. That's what
like,
a ghostwriter
like does.
Yeah, that's like what a ghostwriter is supposed to allow the other person to do.
Okay.
All right, now here it is. You're coming later now that I done made it big off of this. And everybody know I done did it. You know what I'm saying?
And you want to say
that you did it. All right, you're taking away from the pedestal that people might have thought of me as well, and I would have never purchased this song from you had I had known that was what you were going to do.
All right, scenario.
You know,
Jermaine Dupri signs Little Bow Wow or Criss Cross. He writes all the songs. He makes all the.
They were kids. They were kids.
But how does the publishing work?
But watch.
Did they
This is what
split
it
the
all
publishing, or
depends.
did they not?
It all depends on how their parents reacted to the situation.
How did they sign that deal?
Yes, because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, we're going to give these kids everything. They're going to have everything as a kid would love. You know what I'm saying? But the money they were supposed to produce or did produce, you know what I'm saying, was enough to buy homes and land and this, you know what I'm saying?
Rich for everybody.
Right? You got to think
The amount of
Motown.
money that Bow Wow made.
You got to think Motown itself. You know, it's like it's what is we talk $1 billion corporation or something like that, multi-billion-dollar corporation. You feel me? So you got to think when Boys to Men or BBD and all of them.
I'm sure they wrote their own music, right?
They wrote a lot of their own music, but you know you'll never know. People write other people's songs. Like Whitney Houston went big on "I'll Always Love You," but that's Dolly Parton's song. It's a country artist song. You know
But just this particular, you signed to So Def, Jermaine Dupri, even though they're kids, and he writes all the songs and he does all the beats. So we know the producer get 33%. Does he take all the publishing too? So is he like 80%? You're like 10, 20?
It all depends. It all depends how y'all laid out the deal. If y'all accepted this contract that he presented, whatever it was, then that's what it is. Now, you know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. What you agreed to. That's why they say read over your paperwork. Read over all these contracts, fine print. Don't just sign shit that day. Tell them you'll get back to them. Take it with you. You know what I'm saying? Have time to sit down and read what you're signing your life over to. Because then later on, when you feel something is wrong, you don't have the right to say it's wrong no more because you didn't take time to read at first.
Facts. Read your contracts, people. Shout out to Suge for sparking this conversation.
I gotta pay the
You know
same
what,
amount.
though?
If I gotta pay to that
I do
publishing,
say this, since we're speaking law. If I say, when do you let certain things and accept it either being over or move on to the next thing? You know what I'm saying? Now, the reason I say that, don't get me wrong, Pac is very worthy of being talked about, spoken about. He did a lot of things in the rap game that a lot of, that opened up doors for a lot of other people. So he's worthy of that. But the topic isn't speaking on all the good things he's been doing. It's about just his murder for all these years. You know what I'm saying? Not the things that he accomplished during that time or nothing. All we get to hear, it's like watching The Passion of Christ. All you see is the torture. You don't see all the good, you know what I'm saying? The Passion of Christ will show you all the torture. So it's like all they want him to do is stay in a limelight of somewhat negativity. And that's why sometimes I disagree with having the conversations about him because it's not talking about the multiple good things that he did. You know what I'm saying? There's other things that happened besides just his death. You know what I'm saying? Look at Keisha Cole now. You know what I'm saying? If he wasn't never introduced in her life, she probably on the stages of where they're at right now. And that's an Oakland bitch right there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You feel me? He came in and
a lot of this comes from what people who was either around, involved, or knew him. All these conversations are sparked from that. Some people, I see them get on here and say a lot of good things. The controversy sells. Everybody know controversy sells. And the sad part is Biggie said it. You're not somebody till somebody
kill you. And that's the truth. And although controversy sells, you just said it earlier yourself, you want to make a tone that's uplifting. You know what I'm saying? Right. So uplifting things has its fan base as well.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Everything has its fan base. It's all about if you're willing to give the fans what's in you. Not but what's in you. You know what I'm saying? Don't hold back. If you want to be a black country artist, go be a black country artist. You want to go bull riding as a black man, go ride a bull. You know what I'm saying? Don't hold back on anything you give the people to see about you. You know what I mean? Be authentic at all times. You know what I mean? And it'll sell. It'll sell better than controversy. You know what I mean? At least my opinion of that is. That's just my opinion.
The crazy part is Tupac did get bigger once he started beefing and doing controversy music. He was huge. with, you know, so many tears.
No,
like
no.
he
You
was
want me to tell you
huge.
when Tupac?
Movies huge.
You want me to tell you
Traumatic
when
Justice,
Tupac
huge.
started getting real big, and maybe it might be just a little bit before your time, just a little bit, but not. Once he left Digital Underground.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Once he left Digital Underground is when Pac became a breakout artist of his own. Brenda Got a Baby and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. I could say a lot of things about Pac. I know a lot of things, you know what I'm saying, about it, but I just would rather, I like to say the good things, like the Brenda Got a Baby, or you know what I'm saying? Like just all this shit. I remember he just sit by that window with that damn AK all day. You know, work, you know, sleep, you know, I see different around the corner, you know what I'm saying, on everything. He's been popping for a long time. But once he went to jail and that helicopter came and picked him up, and you know what I'm saying, right? That wasn't the same Pac.
It was a revengeful Pac.
Yes.
It was a bitter Pac. It was a mad Pac.
Exactly.
It was a person who
and
had
an intelligent angry person is an intelligent black angry person is something that these people don't want, so they try to get rid of us quick. It's one thing to be intelligent, they don't like that. It's another thing to be black, they don't like that. Then when we get mad, they tripping off of that. So if you all three of those things, nigga, you know what I'm saying? It's like, come on now. And Pac was very intelligent with the way he articulated his words, even if he was cussing.
You know, people were so enthused, including me, because it was in real time and it was a real situation. And it probably was like one of the first artists to talk about those type of topics real time, about real street niggas.
Now you had
people he was going at wasn't rappers.
You got to think back then when I was growing up. You know what I'm saying? We had rappers coming in the area called the Scary X.
I'm talking about people.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Scary X, big name. All you Pecker Wills better hide tonight. He was one of them people. You know what I'm saying? He spoke on black politics and shit. Scary X is very known. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who know Scary X, and you know, it just wasn't. It wasn't a lot of people who got to survive as long as him.
Right. To make it the superstar.
Yeah, like either they went to jail, they got killed, or they started doing crack. You know what I'm saying? Those were their options. So Pac didn't do crack. He went to jail. You know what I'm saying? He refused to die for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And because of that, he got to make his name more solidified out there because he lasted longer than the other ones. You know what I'm saying? But every generation, though, you know, every generation, we're going to have black men that last longer than the last black men.
Yeah. We got a lot of greats.
You know what I'm saying?
We had Dolph. We had Nipsey.
All right,
Draco.
We had
a lot of greats.
Speak.
A lot of great people in the last, I'm gonna say 4 to 5,
you know what I'm saying?
6 years.
Come on,
the greats, the originators
that are going to be remembered for years, because just like after all these years we're talking about Pac, I bet you after all these years go by like this, we're going to be talking about Nipsey, we're going to be talking about Young Dog, these same people.
Yeah.
All right, because they're rememberable. It's a part of history. Especially in black culture, you know, a black cultural history, you feel me, is important. Offset, definitely. You know what I'm saying? Trendsetters. You know, each generation we're gonna have them. We are made in his image. We're always, no matter what generation it is, we're always gonna be the ones that shine and they're gonna want to get rid of. When they talk about population control, they ain't talking about getting rid of them.
Just, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All right.
Shout out to Jack 6ix9ine, the real one.
You know what I'm saying? Real shit.
What do you think about the 6ix9ine situation? Like, I know you know the backstory, probably most of it. The dudes he was with, you know, he got with some dudes. They blew up together. He was working, him and Shotty was pretty close. Shotty smashed his girl, some shit like that. They try to rob him behind closed doors on some weird shit. And then he ended up turning state evidence.
Yes. Now, Lucas Joyner even spoke about that.
What do you think about that?
What I think about it is,
like, how, he wasn't gonna handle it in the streets, I guess.
But there's other moments where you could tell he wasn't gonna be like that. Look at the gym incident. when he got beat up in the gym. You know what I'm saying? You don't remember the gym incident?
That was after the fact, so he still didn't
Yeah.
stay.
You know what I'm saying?
So he was gonna fold under pressure.
You know what I'm
Anyway.
saying? Come on, man.
They knew that.
So that's what I think about that.
But with them knowing that, how dumb did they have to be to not think that this nigga don't tell us?
Very stupid. Very stupid. They have to be very stupid. But see, some people believe that it won't happen to me. You know what I'm saying? And
Nah,
that's
his role
that's
though.
the
All
thing.
the like, I was gonna let's go back
That's
to
the
the pop
thing.
situation. He said All Eyes on Me was a family orientated joint project. When you listen to All Eyes on Me, you don't really hear vengeful pop. You hear like what Suge said. He said Machiavelli was evil. Machiavelli was him. There were all the songs that he didn't put on All Eyes on Me. If you listen to it, it's damn near like the first time hearing it, you probably get goosebumps listening to certain songs. Hail Mary. You know what I'm
White
saying?
Man's World, all of it. You know what I'm saying? I like the album myself, and I didn't see it as a mean spirited pop on certain songs, even like the White Man's World. It was eye opening. You know what I'm saying? It was like, wake up, everybody, you're asleep. And instead of laying in this cloud, I'm trying to separate some of this so you can see clear real quick. Since I'm up here already and I done been through the bullshit, I have to get up here to go, I have to go through it to get up here. I'm trying to separate a little and put it in these words for y'all to hear. You know what I mean?
He said 6ix9ine was bonded by his own homies. He was backdoored by his own homies. Yeah, they backdoored him. And he didn't owe them no kind of loyalty. He snitched for a good reason.
Wow. So you're saying there's respectable snitching. At that case.
That's what I was trying to ask.
Right.
Like
Is
this
there,
day and age,
all right.
like
So
the niggas backdoor you.
you want me to tell you what's
behind your
respectable?
back.
You want me to tell you what's respectable
Kidnapping.
snitching? You come. Your grandma called the police on you. You know what I'm saying? Your mama called the police on you. If you in these streets, I don't give a damn. If you in these streets and you're doing things in these streets, there's a code we're gonna stand by. You violate that code, there is no ifs, ands, or buts. So what if that they all fucked up then? I'll say it that way. They all fucked up, but two wrongs don't make a right. Because your credibility still gotta stand. You know what I'm saying? And it don't make sense for you to go out just because somebody else did. That don't open the door for that. So I kind of don't get that one, but I'm opposed. I'm listening.
Do you think if he didn't tell, he was gonna get the 20 years? Because they shot at niggas. He orchestrated shit. He orchestrated some shit himself that he had these niggas do that he testified that they did, other than the shit that they did to him behind his back.
Like I said, like you could tell a person's character. You know what I'm saying? It's on you once you see that a person is like this and you still let them in your bubble. It's like, what's wrong with you?
Was he that blind or was he scared?
I don't think it was either. I just think a motherfucker just go with the fast way of living these days. Like
he didn't give a fuck.
He
didn't care.
Yeah, I'm getting money right now.
Yeah,
everything's fun.
It's
It don't even matter.
Right. I'm not
Until
even
it
that bothered me.
Yeah.
Until they kidnapped his ass. If they would have never did that, that shit would have never even, none of this would have happened, bro. They didn't know that the feds, they probably did know, but the feds was already on them. The dude who was driving the black truck was an undercover, and they had the whole shit on camera when these niggas robbed him.
I mean, it doesn't take a brain surgeon for them to put a case together, but that's what make it worse about a motherfucker telling. We're already in trouble.
Yeah.
What the fuck you telling for?
We already.
You know what I'm saying? They know everything already. All we had to do was not get caught. The minute we got caught, we was in trouble.
Because you got to remember that
what I mean?
6ix9ine did something that nobody else has done in music history. He dissed every rapper in the game, and when he ran into them, them niggas stood on business. I've yet to see that. Like that nigga, and he told us like, nigga, these niggas is pussy, but I guess like who in that game is you know, we in it to change our lives, but I know niggas lyrics. Like I've just said it, like your lyrics is shoot 'em up, bang bang. I'm tough guy. I'm this, that, and this. So you know, when people run into you,
They go and see
that
that.
energy.
Yeah, they want to see that.
And 6ix9ine put that to the test better than any other rapper. Like, bro, really kind of like they was really doing shit, really beefing with niggas. And niggas ran into each other. Shit was happening. Shootouts, fights, all kind of shit.
He would put this. He put himself in that situation though to have that kind. But that goes to show that he was either on beast mode. Like me myself, I don't get the purpose of dissing every rapper. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to get in the industry and you think that's the best way to get in.
Bro was the biggest at the time, though. The numbers was crazy.
I know
Bro,
because like you said, controversy. You know what I'm saying? But look at where it came to at the end.
Yeah.
See what could happen.
Well, he's still rich. I
mean, you know, like
he doesn't make hip hop anymore. He's like a Puerto Rican rapper. He moved to another country and shit. Like
where he could be himself.
None of them people there give a fuck about no niggas he told on.
You know,
and if you come over there with that bullshit, they might kill you by his ass. So ain't nobody going over there looking for him.
But at the same time, if he do that bullshit over there,
if he tell all these people, it's different. It's different. He might not be able to go anywhere after that.
And this is the thing. If a motherfucker done it once and a motherfucker done it twice, the motherfucker subject to do it again. You know what I'm saying?
So anybody around 6ix9ine at this point should know they shouldn't be saying anything criminalizing.
I say if he's a good person, let him just be that. Don't go do other shit. You know, be the friend or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying, and do it that way. Keep all street shit.
I got a question
to yourself.
So you're a manager. You know, you managed for a little while. You got a little taste of it. If you were a manager and 6ix9ine came at you and said, "Hey, I want you to help manage my career, do a couple business deals for me," would you work with him?
I would work with talent, but I would have guidelines, and that would probably make him either not want to work with me or choose to follow by the guideline. See, I'm not here to make a million enemies. I don't want enemies. And if I'm
talking about the 6ix9ine we know now, like he ain't got no enemies. He don't talk shit.
He do got enemies. He just
he got enemies. He don't say nothing. He don't beef with anybody. He's pretty quiet. He put out his music. He enjoy life.
All right, that 6ix9ine.
You might be booking.
You know what? You know what? I would say like this. I would say no, and the reason I would say no is because I feel like it's bad for business. You know what I'm saying? I would feel like even though he's talented in what he's doing, producing different shit, you are what you are. I don't want to do business with nobody like that because what they say, you fuck with them, duck with them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You feel me? And I could be coming out the lab one day and they know he at my lab and all of a sudden we all getting busted at because of this nigga. All right, so who you have around you is important. It's very important. If he has made a name public-wise, you know, not just between homies, but public-wise, that this is what's going on, then I don't want to risk anybody else that might want to deal with me that could be future good business. Because you only can make music that people like now this way.
Out the country.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I'm in the country right now. You know what I'm saying? And the people that I'm trying to help are in the country.
Right.
We haven't ran and fled. You know what I'm saying? And hide, you know, the head, whatever you will call it, right? We're here in the storm, okay? While you're over there in the yachts. and I commend you on that. You know, good kudos, you know what I'm saying? But we right here. And I can't let you come off of your yacht and come on my regular boat with your history. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you was somebody else coming off the yacht, I'm gonna see if I can anchor on to you or something and learn something. You know what I mean? Because it's all about learning something. You feel me on everything. So The best I could say for 6ix9ine at this point is keep it the way you're keeping it now. Don't let nobody ever influence you or get you mad to act like that because you're not like that. I mean, you're like that, but you're not like that because if somebody do something back to you, you're gonna tell them.
Which
you know.
75% of these niggas do, right? It's a nice good number of that going on.
You say 75, I give a large 85%.
85%.
It's only check 5% is snitches, right? About 8% is scared, to even get involved and say anything. That goes with the snitches too, because they're scared too.
Then you got pedestrians.
Right. Bam. That's where the pedestrians come in at 8%. You know what I'm saying? So that leaves 7% for solid niggas. All right. That's all it is. That's all it is. You know what I mean? All right. And then they fall short too. The fuck?
Because they be smoking all kind of shit be happening with them. The 7%.
Oh God, they fall short too. So you really put yourself to 5% of people who are staying committed. Now that's a large number if you think of the whole world. You know what I mean? That's a large number. But there's so much other fake shit you gotta go through just to be, really do it. That's why they said it take more energy to be fake than it do to be real.
You gotta fake all day. You gotta keep the image up, keep the lie up. What do you feel about the beef between Big and Pac at the end of the day?
See, that's what
What was the real beef?
That's what I'm saying. You know what the beef was, since you want me to say some shit? Because I hate talking about the bad part, but here we go. This is my opinion. It was them white people back then seeing that they could produce money off of these black people acting ignorant. If they put these two together in a feud, they knew controversy was going to bring money, but they never imagined that these people friends. See, these two people, but outside their crew, outside those two, everybody else who listens to this is influenced by it. That's why I always tell you what you put out there is powerful. You know what I'm saying? Look, Mozzie and them make these songs now. What happened? A shooting happens the next day. It don't be Mozzie doing the shooting.
No, it's the music influencing. I just told you, that
I just told you.
Frequencies.
I remember that part, but that's not what I said.
And people putting out this bad energy. See, I don't put out any bad towards my music. I don't want to per se.
No more.
Even when I did, I was gonna stand on everything I say. Shout out to my lawyer. But shout out to my lawyer. I see niggas get on here and brag about, but whatever. All right, moving past that. But I just was telling Unc, my music gotta be on a frequency, and it always has been cool kickback music. If I'm going in on a bitch, I'm going in on a bitch. That's that. But focusing my energy towards another male, to me, is kind of homosexual, because why are you so focused on what the next man is doing, especially if you're not the type to hang around niggas? And I'm just not that type. I could count my friends on a couple fingers, maybe 3 or 4, maybe 1 or 2, maybe that I fuck with. So with that being said, my shit has always been geared towards the image of myself and the way. I just told Unc before we started this shit, what they about to hear next is me talking about, affirmations and possibilities and business ventures and beautiful, just where I want to be in life, even if it's dark and grimy or if it's light and colorful. Either way it goes, it's going to be like a beautiful outcome or a speak of motivation for other people to look forward to in life, to still dream and have an imagination. So that's the dopeness about music. I don't have no rap beefs. I've never rap beef with anybody in my life. And you couldn't pay me to beef with anybody in my life because, like I said, 85% tail, and I just experienced it. in real life. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I get it. But yeah, that's dope. I believe the Drake and the Kendrick Lamar shit was like behind the closed door. Yo, look, music isn't doing that well, but if we beef,
It's the white men behind all this. Like, even though we see our black producers, we see all this, you got this white man right there with this idea. You know what? You guys are hella talented. This shit could go if all we had to do was change this, right? You know, it's just like acting and everything. The actor could be the best damn actor in the whole world, and all of a sudden that woman dress up like a woman. You know what I'm saying? You gotta belittle yourself and your people in order to seem correct to society.
Are you saying they have to do humiliation rituals?
I wouldn't call it a ritual. I'm not saying that, but I would say that, like, in their mind, white people always find a way to try to. Could I finish? Could I please finish my statement? And in my mind, I feel like white people, and I hate to say it that way, but being truthful, in the higher up businesses, you know what I'm saying, are always trying to find a way to make somebody black belittle themselves to succeed higher. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel that's wrong.
Is that a part of a business practice, or is that a part of a book that they go by?
It's just a part of how they prosper off of black talent. Everything that's made in this world, a large percent of it came from a black man's mind. You know what I'm saying? I won't say everything, but a large percent of everything around here came from a black man's mind.
I believe that.
And because of that, since white men being so much power, they don't want, just like we were just saying, like the royalty thing. You know, don't come around later and try to say that this is your music. Now, you know what I'm saying? The black man made it. The white man stole it. Refused to want people to know the black man created it. You know what I'm saying? Now the black man speaking up, they want to, you know, he lying. Don't come around after all these years. No, this is what the truth is. This is the truth. It's everything, pretty much everything in this world is black thought. Even the extra inventions now that people be like, oh, well, you know, we did this, it piggybacked off of it. All you did was advance because you had the money to make the idea better. You know what I mean? But the stem of this idea came from a black mind. You know what I mean? And that's what a large percent of this shit that we got right now. And that's why these people treat us like this still to this day, because they know that we have so much ability and control over shit that the only thing they can hold over us is the fact of having all this money to make your idea work. So you have to get your own money to shut these motherfuckers up. Or not even to shut them up, but just to let them see that I'm not that statistic that needs your money. You know what I'm saying? And when you do accept their money,
machine.
Exactly. Because the moment you do accept their money, all of a sudden you're going clip where you gotta wear a dress.
I think it's not just that. I think it's the control factor. I think it's a control factor.
I'm just saying that's part of control. You can word it however you want to, but put me in a dress is a control factor. You know what I mean?
I still think you have a choice, though. Don't you think
Dave Chappelle had a choice. He chose not to do it. Denzel had a choice. He chose not to do it. These are people who came out publicly and said, I refuse to dress as a woman just to succeed. You know what I'm saying?
With your agenda.
You know what I'm saying?
But we see, like, when we used to hear that back in the day, it made a lot of sense, but it didn't make as much sense as it do now, watching everybody walk around, normal people, in dresses, as much as they do now.
I mean, they do it a lot now, but they've been doing it for years. The only thing that's different is it was more behind closed doors. It's a scene. Like, it wasn't meant to be put out in the world. It was, now you see it on commercials. It's at your schools where your children are at. It's everywhere. That's why motherfucking Trump is like, no. That's one thing I can say that.
I heard a female say, if you agree with anything Trump says, fuck you. And I'm like, well, whose side are you on? And it was a black woman who said this.
The thing is, though, you're allowed to have your opinion. Because one thing for sure and two things for certain, I'm not a Trump supporter, but I believe in certain ways and tactics that he's handling.
Certain morals he has.
You know what I mean? So although I don't, say I fuck with Trump, I didn't vote for
morals in 2025?
I didn't vote for him, but you know what I'm saying? That's not the point. He's in there now. Since he's in there now, what are you going to do? All right, well, shit, there's some things I disagree with. There's some things I agree with. Just like the last presidents and the presidents before that. You know what I mean? It's going to always be like that. It's just people want a reason to be angry.
Everybody wants a reason to be mad at something.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Every new thing that comes out, people want a reason to have something to lash out about or something. And some of the cases are right. You know what I mean? But not all of them are. You know what I'm saying?
Are any of these things even really worth talking about at the end of the day? Because this subject is because of the push that it's given. Like you said, a lot of things in the 90s and 80s were a little different. You had your disco clubs, you had your disc clubs, that clubs, and people stayed in their own lane. But for this to be so publicly pushed down everybody's throat, like you're gonna accept this shit, I don't give a fuck. It's called hate speech.
Yeah, that right there is when you take away people's rights. You know what I'm saying? Like when I send my kids to school, I don't want my kid going to school and have, like, when you're grown, you could do whatever you want to do, but it shouldn't be. It's just my opinion. Yeah. I don't have no homophobia. My uncle David, Champagne, shout out Uncle Champagne, favorite uncle. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like my motherfucker. So I don't have no homophobia problems at all. I just don't agree with certain ways that you're allowed to put it out these days. You shouldn't be able to go to the school. Your kid shouldn't. How do your kid know? Did you see that lady online? She had the son. She was dressing her son ever since a baby was a little girl. You know what I'm saying? So you never even gave your son the opportunity to pick
what gender he wanted to be.
You know what I mean? Because in his mind, it's already tainted that this is what he is. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you that's why I want to understand people with children. Why do you want children? You know what I mean?
All right, we're gonna go somewhere else with it.
Yeah. We run people off. Now, we only had our couple. I seen them when they left. It's all right.
Next, our shit gonna start glitching. Like usually when we get in a deep conversation and real conversation, she start and the internet start tripping and all that. So I don't stay in there too long. I get in there and get out of there. Warning before the sky splits. All right, let's go.
You said what?
Warning before the sky splits and the kingdom turns. Come on, dude. Look quick.
You just said we get off deep shit. Then you go put
look at all those fish, bro.
Sunlight slows down photosynthesis, which is responsible for maintaining the dissolved
the world is it. Come on, there. You got to.
All right, let's go to it. Like it's okay.
That's right. It was raining fish in parts of Texarkana.
Warning.
Smack from back on Fig is getting blamed for putting the spotlight on Figueroa Rico.
Smack in trouble.
This is all clickbait, man. The No Jumper Show. Alien Mysteries. Hey, this is gonna be deep. Warning before the sky splits and the king returns.
He wants to go back.
The Anunnaki is on the way. Yep, more Ricos going on. Chris Gotti breaks down the Ja Rule and 50 Cent beef. Oh man, I've been waiting to figure out what happened.
Now, a beef that you were deep in.
Yeah.
And the second biggest
Yo,
beef
what's going on?
possibly
Jump
in hip hop
the
history
chat.
was with maybe Ja Rule and 50 Cent. At least the
Uncle Bobby was
most
being
exposed commercially beef.
Without social media, imagine that.
Yeah. Shout out Isabella.
Imagine if it was social media.
was
Shout out Mark.
Oh my God. I don't even want to deal with it. Like to think of, but no, seriously, listen to me, the beef.
Check out the comments.
Again, if you know my history, I grew up fighting. Now, beef is not an
So
issue.
Mark
Like
said,
I had real
so
beef in my
really
life. That wasn't real beef for me. I had real beef for 2 years on site. Niggas are shooting back and forth. Bodies is lost. I mean, lots of bodies, not just like that's real beef on site anywhere. It was it's gunplay. That wasn't that. We chased. I'm a hunter. I'm not a hunted. I'm not hunted. If you understand, and that's I don't want to go.
Shout out Chris Gotti,
but
man.
that's the
R.I.P.
facts.
Eric
Like
Gotti.
I never felt pressure. See the public. Here's the pressure I feel. I keep it 100. I promise you. I would go to a club. I walk in the club. I got a few dudes with me. Walk in, and all you would hear is. I'm like, wait a minute. They gonna kill me.
Everywhere you go.
They gonna kill me.
Genius. Huge.
But see, you learn quick, right? And what did I learn quick? It's just fans.
Yeah.
I'm really Murder Inc., nigga. So I would. You understand the difference?
Yeah.
So I will approach these people, and I'll be very disrespectful. God's honest truth. Because I want, if you're really with it, and I was like, you ain't G-Unit, nigga. You just a groupie, nigga. Like his music, he got hot records. I'm not crazy. I'll be in the club dancing.
Right.
Niggas would look at me like I'm a Martian. Like, what are you doing? Dancing? I said, this shit is hot.
In the club dancing to 50 Cent. They just say what you want me to
You know what I'm
do.
saying? That's the facts. Like, that's 1,000%. But I approach people. And yeah, Irv was on Dream Channel. Sees Irv talking about, like, I told my brother stop going out. Why did he say that? You know why? We got in nothing but lawsuits. Because I didn't know gangsters fight. I mean that gangsters was
Hey,
thought they
me and
gonna come
Marcus
back
spoke
at you
on
after I
this.
bust.
Nigga said after I bust you upside your head in the club, I didn't think you were gonna fight. So the streets is a myth, y'all. Like, to avoid certain situations. I mean, come to mind, especially in this game of entertainment, like being around celebrities and having money and shit like that. The last thing any of us in our group would do is have to go to court for some shit that nigga smokes. Just think about that. How, like,
I mean, I done said it. You know what I'm saying? I done said it.
full circle conversation.
At you after I bust their ass and they got to go to the doctor or whatever it may be and get their wounds dealt with. They sued you, and we paying 50, 100,000 to all of these different so-called gangsters. And I'm like, damn, this
How
is
much y'all
different.
think you paid out for the 50
No one paid
Cent
more.
beef?
No one paid more in lawsuits from fighting than Murder Inc. I can't foresee. I don't think that's a real one. But it wasn't because of pressure. See, it's because I actually instigated. That's why Irv was like, don't. And my instigation of it wasn't to do it. It was really, I felt that if I didn't, that wave was so big and so strong. If I didn't, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. I'd be in fucking Albuquerque, New Mexico, ducked down somewhere. Because it would have been that real. And I'm like, I can't live that way. And that's what I told her. If I'm not staying in, I kept Murder Inc. alive. Everywhere. Everywhere.
Do you think 50 Cent takes it too far sometimes with it?
That's his job.
Ooh.
That's what, see, you got to understand business. That's what made him successful. He'll never change. He's only going to do more of it. He started off by shitting on Ja. We don't know him. He's shitting on Ja and everything. And he becomes the #1 rapper in the game. He's never going to change. Why would anyone expect him? He's the #1 troll in the game, right? He trolls everybody. How did he shit all over Floyd and he don't really
fight?
Not that he don't fight. It's not that. You don't know him. Floyd didn't have to be your friend and be there with you like that. And then you want to talk about him in all types of crazy ways. Why would you do that? Why would you laugh at niggas like Diddy and go as a brother, as a
Right.
black man? As a black
Yeah.
man, let's keep it a buck, nigga. You
Two
understand?
people from New York.
It's a black man.
crazy.
Like, why don't you big up another nigga like that? You know what I'm saying? But he picks and chooses his battle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He picks and chooses.
Yeah,
he's
man,
not.
say
He's
much
a
about Jay.
smart, witty dude, and that makes for a really good troll nigga.
Have you ever had a conversation with him?
No, I don't know him. My first day, actually, even being. This is why the beef wasn't real. I can't have a beef and I don't really know you. I tell everyone like, we could fight. I could meet a stranger and fight. That's no problem. We did that a few times. You know what I'm saying? That's easy. But how could I keep that in here if it's not real to me? I have 0 losses on the street with the G Unit members. That's a fact. That's a fact. Again, I don't have a problem saying it is, and I don't want to instigate no shit. I'm not trying to serve anything. I'm just saying what the facts are. And I say I try to challenge people like yourself that may not have lived it or been in it, because you might have heard things, to really answer the question you're asking yourself by just researching. Like I said, when you see all the things he's done, I don't have to talk about it. It's there. Just got to admit it, but maybe you're a fan, right? And if you're a fan, you put things that's to the side. He has a big voice. I'm a fan. I get it. I overstand. That's why I don't really care. Like, you bring it up and look, we're talking about something that's 20-something years ago, 25 years ago. Like, I don't give a fuck about that shit. He could walk in right now. Unless he wants to do something, I wouldn't give a fuck. It wouldn't be nothing. It would be 0.
Chris, how did you guys meet Ja Rule? How did that?
Shout out Chris Black.
Okay.
He was in a group, Cash Money Click. Chris Black lived up the block from us and was in a group, and he brought him and a guy named O Miller. And then we had a group called Click, and he was like, this is the group. But Chris Black is like a real slick talking, but he ain't really a rapper.
Right.
He's finessing the game kind of, and it was the shit what he would say was hard, but pause, it was like, you know what I'm saying? It was that. It wasn't like he's a rapper, right? And then you heard Ja, and it was like, who's that voice? Like, then you see him and you're like, this nigga got that voice like that. And Irv, as soon as he had it, was like, yo, what he's asking me, you think he should go solo? He should go solo. I said, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And that was your first artist? The first?
You know, people don't realize Ja Rule's Vena Veda Vici was on Def Jam. It wasn't on Murder Inc. Even though we put Murder Inc. on it, we was in the middle of the deal. And what we did was tell Def Jam, put our imprint on it, but they already had signed Ja. We took him from Blunt Records, got him over that deal, put him on Def Jam. He made Vena Veda Vici. It's on Def Jam, but we made the world think. See, it's smoke and mirrors. All that shit is smoke and mirrors that you think. That's why I said it's all fake. It's not real. But when you ask me, I'm gonna give you real. But it's all fake, man. It's like, you know, I wish him all the best. I promise you that. Get money, nigga. Leave me alone. I ain't worried about you. You do you. That's a fact. I want to see. I have a different philosophy than most. Maybe because I was in real beefs. And most of the beefs I was in, those dudes are my friends today. Even after loss. And that's something that's special to me. Like, because loss is the one thing, it's so hard to turn back. If someone's gone from that beef and to make amends with them. And at the end of the day, that's why I look at it differently. You know, my philosophy is it's one less person I have to worry about when you get successful. Right? So the more successful you are, I shouldn't have to think about you harming me, my family, anyone in my family, a friend. That should be the furthest thing from your mind. You should be trying to get money. You understand? So that's how I look at it. If you're really trying to keep perpetuating that, to me, that's not real. I know the craziest gangsters that they converted. He's not that. Right? You understand? So he's not from that. Like, they always put up his picture from jail, and it's like he did shock. I don't know if you guys know what shock was. It was a program. If you got locked up, you go to shock program. That was for the guys that didn't want to do the time. So it's shock. Whenever you see his jail picture and he's so slim and you see it, that's because he went through shock. It's like boot camp and you could get out, but that was where all of the dudes that couldn't do jail time. So that's a whole nother story. But that's a New York thing. Anyone from the New York know what I'm talking about.
Like if you didn't walk Rikers
You know what I'm saying?
Rikers
At the
Island,
end of the day,
you
I'm
weren't
just
really-
saying that. Like my first day when I met him, I was gonna say that it was DJ Clue called me to come to a game for basketball at Chelsea Piers. And there's other dudes, Bernard. Shout out Bernard. You know what I'm saying? He was EPMD's manager, and I go to the play ball. I never left home without it. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
I never left home without it. So I go out there. I'm by myself. Go play ball. And then this is when he was just doing mixtape and shitting. And he was fucking with Bang'em Smurf. I don't know if you remember Bang'em Smurf. He just hit me too. What up, nigga? You know what I'm saying? And I keep hearing chitter chatter. So I grab the ball. I stop the game. Like, my man, do I know you? Like, what's up? And Smurf come running over to him. No, yo, Fifth, chill out. Yo, Fifth, let's just play ball. Just play ball. When he say Fifth, I said, oh, this must be this dude 50. Must be. I don't know what he looked like. That's the first day I met him. I clotheslined him, dropped him. Like he come down the court. I just clotheslined him for no reason while he was going to the hole.
New York
Just
niggas is
because
burning.
I grew up like fighting. So I'm like, if you run a fight, we can fight. He just put that smirk on. He jumped back up. I gave him another real hard foul again. He don't do nothing. So I grabbed the ball and said, come on, nigga, just play ball. Let's go. And that was my first day. I swear on everything. That was my first day meeting him. And it was like that. It was like, he seen Bernard going in my bag, and I was like, don't go in my bag. And him and Bang Smurf left. So I thought maybe they forming up outside.
Mm-hmm.
I called my studio right up the block. I called my niggas, they come, and they was like, Chris, ain't nobody outside. Okay. See, if that's the shoes of the other foot, if I was him, he couldn't. It would have been an issue. See, that's just how I grew up. It would have been an issue. I'm not just walking away and leaving you there knowing you by yourself. Oh, you gonna have a problem. And that's why I said it. And that's why I said it. But the people think these things, but he was very calculated in the way he moved and everything. Again, I don't like even harping and talking on it because it's perpetuating something that's finished to me.
Gotcha.
I can't remember.
All right. Well, that was super dope. You're now tuned in to the news you can use. We got to get up out of here, man. Shout out to Uncle Bobby. The reaction was great. Stay positive, people. For you artists out there, keep the peace and the chicken grease. Uncle, you got anything to say before we go?
Have a good one. Stay safe.
Have a blessed day.